everybody, welcome to Off the Rack. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
Oh, we're in for a big one today. I'm excited. This is a comic review show. We took comics in the past week and we talk about them, review them, and tell you what we thought about them, and then recommend comics that are coming out this week that we think you should check out. The way that this show is formatted is typically we talk about the news, then we jump into the reviews. In the meantime, we also take questions from the audience in the form of super chats. If you have a super chat interest, you can ask a question or comment, and we'll read it here on the show forever, and it'll be part of it, be part of the infrastructure. And better yet, that those proceeds go towards keeping the lights on here at ComicPop Studios. So we do appreciate your support whenever possible, but again, it's no requirement. Just let you know that you can sponsor today's show by using super chats. Otherwise, we're going to read all those at the end of the show, and then we're recommending comics that are coming out this week. So, tight show. I'm very excited. A lot of stuff to talk about.
Sorry we're late.
Yes, big apologies for being late. It was not your fault.
It was
just
my fault.
It was just, you know, we had other things going on, work, and so forth.
It was me.
Well,
it's okay.
You have like 2 or 3 other jobs.
I do not. I have one other job.
And they're making you do like 2 or 3 other people's jobs.
Late.
Yeah,
it just ran late, unexpectedly late.
Completely understandable, and it's
and we celebrated your birthday yesterday, and for some reason I went to bed super late.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
So it's a lot. It's a lot going on, but I'm here to talk about comics.
Anyway. Yes. But before we do, I wanted to say thank you to not only the audience out there who was kind enough to offer me some birthday congratulations, but also to my amazing wife who facilitated everything and made posts and was super, super awesome and amazing, and as always, and as unexpected, it's not unexpected, but still, I really, really appreciate you and all your work and your hard
you deserve
effort.
a happy birthday.
Well, I got one, and I will for as long as you're around, so I'm very excited about that. Let's jump into some books, I guess, because there's comic book news out there, but there's nothing really I want to jump into, honestly. I was thinking about what's going on in the world, and there's not much, unless you heard anything.
No,
fair enough. Well, there you go.
I just didn't.
No. Oh, yes, there is. Marvel DC is having a big crossover.
Yeah.
Did we talk about it last week?
No.
Batman is going to meet Deadpool in 2 larger sized, and when I say that I mean length, books. And they have their own creative teams on them. Marvel has their creative teams, DC has theirs, and people are excited. When I say that, I mean people like me. I am excited. I saw some, a couple of naysayers, because you can't say anything about anything without there being a group of people being like, why? Why?
I mean, it is an interesting decision.
It is, and it's one of those things where I had not heard what the pairing was going to be, but what I did hear, if anything, I heard that when I hear what the pairing's going to be, I would go, what? And then, yeah, okay. And it's just that exact thing happened to me when I saw that it was Batman and Deadpool.
Oh, yeah?
I was like, what? Yeah, okay, that makes sense. Because Batman, right?
Yeah.
Obviously, you got to get everyone's attention, Batman. And Deadpool, billion-dollar franchise.
Yeah, okay.
And also, it's a crossover they never would have done.
That's true.
They never would have done it in the 30-year history.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'm sure there's some naysayers for other reasons, but I can imagine some naysayers being like, there isn't anything interesting to do with this.
I haven't heard anything like that. I've only heard people saying the obvious things like, I would have picked Deathstroke, or why Batman, or I could think of 1,000 other pairings that would have been more exciting or cool. And it's yeah, I know. Those books, while they are for you, the general comic book consumer, the decision, the math behind making it Batman and Deadpool, that ain't for you.
Well, all right. So you have to I'm not saying to discount what someone has to say, but I am saying I'm not going to factor those in terms of the excitement or not, because I feel no matter what character they picked,
yes, people are going to have
that would have existed regardless. And again, I'm not discounting what they have to say. I'm just saying you would have complained no matter what.
Well, yes. If you had a predilection for complaints, you would have done it. So the creative teams behind them, on the DC side, that was a big hullabaloo. The writer of the DC one said or teased that they were going to do it. And that's, of course, Grant Morrison. and art by Dan Mora. And it's like, oh, well, that's an immediate pickup, regardless of the pairing. Like, if it's going to be this, you're going to buy it.
Yeah.
And that is Grant Morrison and Dan Mora doing Batman and Deadpool. Yeah, I'm buying that. I'm pre-ordering that. I've already pre-ordered.
We're not even buying it at this point. Now you're pre-ordering.
I've already bought it, is what I'm saying.
Yes.
So that's happening. I don't even know. Like, I don't know if Grant Morrison's ever even written for Deadpool, but I would love to see their interpretation. I mean, just from the cover alone, you're seeing angels falling out of the sky.
You know what's funny? How much I did not pay attention to any of that.
I didn't either. All I could focus on
I think they're flying.
They're flying, but
What's
they're also
the difference between falling and flying?
Well, that's what I'm saying. Is it could be anything, but they are like they're averting their eyes, they're freaking out, and it's just like,
well, yeah, because this shouldn't be happening,
and that's really what it is. I think that it could be like a big thing about like life and afterlife and stuff, but I think it's more just, I can't believe this. The heavens themselves are weeping at the sight of this audacity.
Is it the audacity of this pairing, or is it the audacity of another Marvel DC crossover? Like, is the heavenly host like, oh,
it's happening? Yeah, no, I mean, take your pick, really. But that's a great idea, and I can't wait. But before that comes out in November. But before that happens, we get Marvel's Deadpool and Batman, and that is dropping in September of this year. And that is being drawn by Greg Capullo, which is like, yeah, that makes a lot of sense to me. And it's written by Zeb Wells. Moving on. So this, So
here's the thing about the Zeb Wells of it all. I liked Zeb Wells' run on Hellions.
Yeah.
And I would say to those who were not a fan of Zeb Wells' run on Spider-Man.
Right.
To not make a big deal about it, because I feel like Zeb Wells has a bit of a sarcastic bit of humor, within his being.
Oh, and he wrote Robot Chicken.
Well, and that if you give him a hard time about this, overly so, that the book will be nothing but references to how crappy the internet is, or something like that.
Yeah,
you know, he has Deadpool. Right. Deadpool will be able to break all the walls.
Exactly. Yeah.
And if you want to just be a story about Batman meeting Deadpool, just shut up and let him write the story about Batman being Deadpool.
It's already
I know.
I mean, this
but
is
you know
a
what I
done
mean?
Deal. Yes, absolutely. I mean, but like, you know, Zeb Wells has written Heroes for Hire. He's written Hellions, like you said. He's written a Carnage book. He's written Venom books. He's written a number of other Spider-Man adjacent or Spider-Man titles themselves. But again, you know, there's nary a Spider character to be seen in this Deadpool Batman crossover, and rightfully so. You know, I think it would overshadow it, and I'm glad we're not getting that. I understand the concern, and listen, I also was like, really? Like, I mean, genuinely speaking, I have liked Zeb Wells' work. I am one of the, by the way, minority who hate Zeb Wells' Spider-Man run. And when I say that, I mean, the book was the #1 book every single time it came out. So you're in the minority if you hated that book.
Well,
I mean, or it's just that people hate buy. They just go to the comic book stores and go, give me something that I hate. And then they spend $7 a book and go, there, I'm miserable. Haha, I've done it again. I'll be back next week.
Or they're so hopeful
that
it gets better.
I mean, at that point,
maybe that's what it is.
That's insane. That's genuine insanity. But it's like, he's written about a bunch of things I've liked. The only thing I have not liked by Zeb Wells is Spider-Man, which is a pretty small number compared to the body of Zeb Wells' work. Yeah. But that said, it was a weird choice by Marvel to go like, oh, for the #1 selling book that we will publish this year, I choose Zeb Wells. Now, it could be because they were like, we did you dirty on Spider-Man. You know, we did not expect the kind of response online, and you'll never be able to sleep soundly again. Like, you've gotten death threats, you've gotten physical altercation. Like, you are going to be dogged by your Spider-Man run for the rest of your life. You can write the Deadpool and Batman.
Instead of being famous, you're infamous.
Exactly. People will forget all your other work and only talk about Paul for the rest of your life.
Yeah, it could be that. It could be that.
Or Marvel is deeply uncreative.
Or they're just like, hey, you know what'll boost the sales? People needing to know.
Yeah, I mean, if Marvel is not run by humans, right? If it's just a chatbot running the whole infrastructure, then it makes perfect sense because the #1 book every single week it came out was written by Zeb Wells. So let's get our #1 writer on this #1 book.
Oh no, I was thinking that they acknowledge the fact that this is a controversial decision.
Oh, I agree.
Let's make it.
I agree with you. I think that is what a human would do. I'm just saying, even when it comes to math,
it doesn't matter. It would happen anyway.
He's the #1 book. Jason Aaron wrote Namor. Nobody read that thing except you.
It was really good.
They could have gotten Jason Aaron to write a Deadpool Batman book. Jason Aaron technically works for Marvel.
No, he works for DC too.
Yeah. What about Jonathan Hickman?
I would have picked Jed McKay, but then it would have needed to be like Moon Knight. Honestly, you could have gotten Joe Kelly, but he's already writing Spider-Man.
He's a little busy.
He's kind of busy. But I feel like Joe Kelly and Grant Morrison.
Joe Kelly would have made a lot of sense because Joe Kelly is a Deadpool writer.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, getting the Batman writer versus the Deadpool writer. That would have been awesome. Yeah, I agree with you. That's a shame. That said,
I'm available for consultation.
I know you are. You would be a great addition to any roster. But yeah, I mean, the cover alone is exciting. And I mean, exciting. It's mostly smoke. But I also think it's funny that both covers depict some kind of weapon embedded in Deadpool's head.
Well, I mean, when you have Deadpool, you might as well go for it, right?
Yeah. I mean, you have to. I mean, you're going to get a Batman Spawn-esque crossover with this one where, Batman's like, he can take punishment of the superhuman variety. That means I don't have to pull any punches on this guy. Plus, I really want to hurt him. Yeah, you can take a lot of punishment. So I'm hyped. I'm very excited. The fact that it's Zeb Wells is.
I will say between the two covers, I think the other one better.
The Dan Mora one crushes it.
Much better, personally.
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right about that.
It's just more dynamic.
A little.
That said, they're both kind of copy paste in a way.
Well, I mean,
it's two guys.
Don't forget the crossover math.
I know.
No one in this cover is bigger than the other. No one has priority over the other one. It's the Mickey Mouse, Bugs Bunny, Roger Rabbit sequence.
What is this move?
Oh, Batman's just throwing himself. I mean, honestly, I mean, look, they are proportionally the same exact
lightning
size.
Shooting out of his hand, and
no, maybe he's jumping for Deadpool.
Emperor Palpatine.
Yeah, I think he's just jumping. I mean,
you think he's jumping?
Yeah,
they're
he's leaping.
Oh, okay. I'd not get leaping out of this.
He is like horizontal.
I do not see him being horizontal.
Well, he is.
Okay.
In fairness, I have seen more Greg Capullo art than you have.
That doesn't make you be able to read it better than me.
Well, if it's incorrect.
No, I think what you're saying is that's what he's meant to be doing.
Well, that is what he's doing in this picture. Whether it's working is another question.
Oh, yeah, no.
But it's, it's again, they have to be the same size, despite the fact that Batman is a full 3-4 feet behind Deadpool, and so should be a little smaller. But I'm just jazzed for a variety of reasons. The first of which is, of course, they're doing it. Second one is the list of other names associated with these crossovers.
Sure.
You're not just getting a Deadpool Batman story. You're also getting what seems to be, and they haven't really delved into it much, but based on the amount of names that are up on top of one of the covers in a promotional piece, there's a bunch of other people on this, including Chip Zdarsky, including Kevin Smith.
Well, obviously Chip Zdarsky would be like, yeah. Yes.
Well, I mean,
give me the Howard the Duck book.
I want to see Chip Zdarsky do a full-blown crossover. I would not want Zdarsky relegated to some 1 or 2 page backup.
Right.
I think you will see that. I think, you'll see Kelly Thompson's backup. Clearly. Now, here's the question. Who will Jeff the Landshark team up with or cross over with from DC in Kelly Thompson's story? Because Guri Hero's name is also on it. Yeah, it's got to be Crypto, right?
It's Crypto.
Yeah, it's Crypto. It has to be Crypto.
Are you kidding me?
Guri Hero's drawing it. Well, at least their name was on the list. I'm like, yeah, no, it's Kelly Thompson, Guri Hero working on.
Jeff and Crypto.
Jeff and Crypto doing something.
Having fun.
Yeah.
They'll pretend to fight and then be best buds.
Right. What if it's Chip? It's not Chip. Or at least I assume.
I would also accept Streaky.
Well, sure.
Then it could be, oh my gosh, it's Jeff and Goose or Chewy meets Crypto and Streaky.
There you go. Yeah. I mean, even just Jeff and the Super Pets.
Is Chewy a girl?
That's a good question. It's hard to tell.
I was gonna say, could we get a streaky?
Yeah, that's a good question.
Just solidify this whole thing.
Yeah, Chewbacca, Sassy Danvers. That sounds like a girl to me.
I don't know. You can, we can say whatever we want, I guess.
That's true. Chewbacca, Sassy Danvers. It's hard to tell.
Sassy Danvers.
Yep. Well, anyway, it's a flirkin, so it's hard to tell.
Yeah.
Anyway, I'm hyped. I'm excited. I love the spirit of collaboration, and also the fact that they were like, by the way, this is the first crossover.
Yeah, here it comes.
I was like, like,
oh,
not just. I don't mean Deadpool, Batman being first out of Batman and Deadpool. I mean, first wave, first one. What will we get next? Based on this pairing, my theory for if there was going to be one next year.
Yeah.
And I think, and I've had a discussion about this. Do you think they should do these every year or every 2 or 3 years?
Every year.
I agree. Every year. Yes.
Every year.
Right.
100%. So obviously, based on this pairing, the next pairing will be Spider-Man and Harley Quinn.
100%. That's exactly what it is. There's no question it's going to be Spider-Man and Harley Quinn because, like,
it's the worst idea.
I would read that.
Why?
I mean, as long as she's not farting, I'll be reading it.
Okay, that's
but
fair.
I mean, otherwise, that sounds like a fun pairing to me. But
what are they going to do?
I don't know. I don't know what these two are going to do.
Jump, apparently.
Well, at least
they're going to
according to
leap
me.
at
You don't know. You can't tell what the hell he's doing. But yeah, I mean, because look, this is a cross they never would have done. They never would have done a Deadpool anybody crossover, much less with Batman. So yeah, they would never do Harley and Spider-Man, and they couldn't have done them. And listen, I think Deadpool, Batman, either of them, and Spider-Man, Harley Quinn, either of them, will be better than Batman Spider.
The newest one.
I mean, really, you can take your pick, but yes, the newest one. Man, it was really bad. I was so you can't imagine my disappointment. But I mean, maybe you won't have to by Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But yeah, I mean, Harley Quinn and Spider-Man. Outside of that, obviously, it's Spider-Man, Superman. You got to do.
I mean, yeah,
it's been 40 years.
I think I'm surprised. I mean, here's what I'm surprised by.
Yes.
That the first one out isn't Superman Fantastic Four.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I mean, I know what you're saying. It's stupid they didn't do it.
I'm not necessarily looking for the synergy, but it's right there.
You know why they didn't do it? Because it wouldn't sell.
Yeah, I'm sure.
Because it didn't sell last time, and that was in 2000, 1999, something like that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I think more likely because it will be 1976 was the first Spider-Man Superman crossover, so I think you're going to get a Spider-Man Superman resurgence. And at that point, I mean, like the variant covers alone are going to pay everyone's rent, over in Burbank. But who would you put on them?
On those books?
Yeah, Spider-Man Superman. I mean, no question you put Joe Kelly on the Marvel one.
Spider-Man Superman?
Yeah.
Spider-Man Superman. Okay.
Yeah. For Marvel Spider-Man Superman, Joe Kelly.
Yeah,
Joe Kelly wrote
100%.
What's So Funny About the Truth, Justice, the American Way.
Yes.
Perfect idea for Superman and Spider-Man.
Yes.
Great idea for those two. Who'd you put on art from Marvel?
I mean, Pepe Larraz.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a no-brainer. That's true. I even know who would draw it in the DC side. But who would you pick for a writer on DC?
I kind of struggle with this one. I know you're a big fan of what Josh Williamson is doing right now.
I think he'd be doing a great job with that.
But I think Mark Waid would be an interesting pull. I don't know. I've never read anything Spider-Man by him.
Yes, you might have. He wrote that original graphic novel, Family Business, with Kingpin in the Hawaiian shirt.
Oh.
Yeah, it's not great. His Mark Waid doesn't get Spider-Man, but
so maybe not then.
Family Business isn't bad. I kind of dug Family Business well enough, but he doesn't get Spider-Man. But I think,
but maybe he doesn't have to fully get Spider-Man if Spider-Man is interacting with Superman.
And he would be very good at making Spider-Man look small compared to Superman. So like, that'd be fun.
Maybe then Josh Williamson. Then.
But you get.
What about Chip Zdarsky?
I mean, Zdarsky doesn't work for DC anymore.
Okay.
So you can't get him.
All right.
But the artist is Jorge Jimenez.
Okay.
I mean, you have to.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay.
Very exciting. You know? So yeah, I don't know. But I'm excited. If that is the case, even with if it's Harley, you'd still get Jorge Jimenez. But I don't know who you get to write
it. Kelly Thompson?
Well, yeah, that's a good one. Boom. That's DC's. Kelly Thompson and Jorge Jimenez doing Spider-Man, Harley Quinn, or Harley Quinn Spider-Man, I should say. You heard it here first, folks. Yeah. Anyway, books that are actually out. Books. We've read them. I read the Martian Mind Beeper. He's not actually called that, apparently, but whatever. Martian Manhunter, number 3, from the team from Dennis Camp and Javier Rodriguez. This is a little. It's not done in one, but it feels like it could be. This is John is dealing with a series of arson perpetrations.
Yeah, it's like 24 people are immolated by 24 different people.
Yep.
At the same time.
Yep. And essentially what they find out, I mean, like, it's a mystery. It's a murder mystery. But it's not that much of a mystery because, like, immediately the Martian helps John find out that, like, the people who are perpetrating them are regular Joes. They're regular people who are kind of not in control of themselves. And that the smoke that affects them is taking the form of an aggressor from their lives and is forcing them into this act of crime, and it just feeds into the White Martian suspicion that was indicated from the previous issue.
Yes,
the art's great. It's a gorgeous looking book. Rodriguez is just killing it. It feels like a Black Label book, or dare I say it, a Vertigo book.
Yeah, I mean, you just see the evolution of his work.
Yeah, he's really comfortable in this world now. He's really getting.
Yeah, well, I mean, like, even just from previous stuff, from like Defenders to Zatanna to this, it's just obviously this is a different genre of story. Yes. So he's definitely stretching a couple of different muscles here. But I still think that you can just see overall in terms of, like, playing around with panel layout or even just like quality of line. You can see his evolution. I think it's really cool.
That's right. It's just you're getting a feel for, John as a character, the Martian as a character, the world's effect on the Martian. The only thing that was a little bit of a hiccup for me was at the end where they say something like, "It's all about the smoke," and I'm like, I know. I remember when the first issue said it. Like,
you're like, I'm aware.
I get it. I'm with you. I know. But there is subtlety. There is
except for that.
No.
It's not. It's not about the smoke.
Right.
It's not.
Oh, sorry.
It's not about the smoke.
And it's like, oh, okay, because it seems to be. But no, there's subtlety. There's nuance. There's character. There's this tragedy of John's life and in the background that you occasionally.
Oh no, you're right. It's not.
Into.
It's about the smoke. I my reading is at a lower level today.
That's all right.
But yes, I agree with you that, like, we don't, and I think that's just like you're seeing a writer trying to make sure that they're getting their point across to everyone.
Oh yeah.
Just being like, I'm going to make sure that we're,
you're all on the same page.
Or he thinks it's like, this is like, no, see, this is like, poetry.
Well, it's such an esoteric concept. Rhythm. Like, this is not a giant Batman who's punching the crap out of like tentacle children. Like, this is a, this is a book about loss and tragedy and like the job, John as a partner or at least a colleague. And he is just a miserable person, and it's just like the job is affecting him in that way, and it's going to make him, like, murder his wife.
Well, how could you tell the difference? Everyone in this world is miserable.
Well, and that's the thing, right? Everyone in this book is miserable. But you get this implication that, like, maybe they won't. I mean, like, look, this is a universe made by Darkseid, and this one is more than any other. It feels like it understood the assignment as far as, like, no, there's no hope here in this world, and it's like, yeah, I get it. It's pretty dark. It's a dark place. I also for the first time, unless I read Absolute Wonder Woman, which of course I did, felt the tether to the bigger world.
Really?
It is very narrow. It's very much focused on like, this character and this world. But like the White Martian, like this could be a Justice League level problem.
Sure.
And I would love to see the Martian and John kind of like tap into the minds of his fellow Leaguers. That would be really cool. It's just something that I'd like to see. I don't know if I ever will, but cool idea. and great cover, great art.
Yeah.
The art's number one. It's just killing it.
Yeah, great.
But nice work on Absolute Martian Manhunter. You had a look at your favorite book of every year that it comes out.
Yeah, it's Kieran Gillen, Casper Wingard, Power Fantasy, number 9. It's great.
It's great. It always is. It never will be.
It's freaking great. And the essay in the back of this one was the essay that I had thought that we were hoping was coming last time, but it was here this time. And it's all about art and design.
Oh.
So it's about design and comics, written by Ryan Hughes in the back. It's great. It's several pages, talks all about like, just philosophy and design just in general with a little bit of instructional advice there. And then at the end of it, there's like a one-sheet poster style thing, which is like Mr. Ryan Hughes' design guidelines. And then it gives you a whole bunch of things I really, really love. It's just his personal take on things. I agree with many of these.
Oh, cool.
For sure. Yeah, just really good stuff in here. There is a couple of really funny ones in here that I thought you might get a kick out of. Let me see if I can find. The one I'm very, very specifically referencing. Shiny chrome effects are best left in the 80s. Chrome effects on type with an outline and drop shadow over textured background in a dozen point sizes will make your comic look like a kebab shop menu or a Marvel page.
Yes. How dare you? How dare you say that? That true statement. You're not wrong.
I really, really liked it.
Can't argue with that.
So I just great stuff. Absolutely love this book. And again, the essays are just like a fun bonus that were an unexpected addition that just bring something else, something really enjoyable that have to do with this comic and are tethered to it in some way, shape, or form. But really, it's just something else there. But just stunning book. Absolutely love it. I
10 out of 10. No notes.
10 out of 10. I don't know what to tell you. I can't tell you what happens. It's cool.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. Well, switching gears, I read Superman 26 from Joshua Williamson and Sean Isaacs. This is, bridging all the little disparate plot points that have been under the surface throughout the series. This is the first time I actually noticed that they're doing a big throwback to old school, dare I suggest, Triangle era DC Comics. Cover schemes where they got a little Superman in the corner in the number box. How cool! If you're gonna bring back the Bolt logo, you might as well bring back that little thing over there. But yeah, Sean Isaac's doing some nice work. There's a couple moments where the art's a little hinky, but for the most part, all the action and all the quiet conversational moments are all rendered with aplomb, no problem. But it's Superman dealing with the fallout of Lex Luthor having unleashed, or rather unwittingly unleashed, his Superman clone of himself that Mercy released because she is in love with the original and true Lex Luthor. Lex has family drama. Superman is dealing with Lois having lost her powers. It seems that Lois may be a little bit more sad than she expected to lose her powers, but Superman seems to be actually more affected by it. And it's like, what a cool idea to kind of take this idea of, Lois has Superman powers. Superman and Lois can finally fight crime together and I guess have as much sky sex as they want. But also, what happens when she loses that? Superman is back to being with a human being, which there's nothing wrong with that. And it's been the status quo for longer than that blip on their lives when she had superpowers. But, there's something there where it's like, I know the experience of flight and super strength forever, like for my entire life. Lois finally got to share that part of my life. And now that she can't anymore, I'm a little sad. And Lois is like, I'm fine. I was good with him without him. I'm good now that I don't have him again. I'm fine. But I'm like, but is she? And so there's an interesting kind of like thread there about the relationship.
What is up with this as of late? Like, I can think of like these 3 characters whose wives or like lady friends have gotten powers and then had them
taken away.
Well, maybe not taken away because Mary Jane still has whatever's going on. But I was thinking of Wally's wife.
Yes, from the Flash book that you're reading. And you alone, no one else.
People are reading it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
People named you?
No, people. People.
Well, tell us about it.
Reading Flash number 21, written by Cy Spurrier with art by Vasco Georgiev. This is the Bad Moon Rising Part 2. We're talking about like this like war that's going on. the moon that includes Eclipso. Again, could have been a big event, but Spurrier's just keeping it together within the Flash book. So it's just happening within the world of the Flash. And cleverly, in a way where we get to use like the whole like Speed Force time thing to make this work. We had like a rogue Flash who is part of this whole splitting process.
Yes.
Seemingly the original Wally died or was consumed by Eclipso. And so like
he'll be back.
He may already be back. I don't know. Because there's like a rogue one that's like there's like something up with him. We met him earlier in the first book. He was like our ride along.
Oof, what a great page.
Oh, the pages in this are spectacular.
Yeah,
like,
Georgieva's
like having the time of his life.
Yeah.
Having the time of his life. Like
may he have a long and healthy run.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Like, it's like when you look at Ultimate Flash, it's like, or Absolute Flash, it's absolutely spectacular. But then I'm like, Georgieva's not to be outdone, though.
Yeah.
Like, not to be outdone. Look at this.
Yeah. No, it's great.
He's just doing great work. Really just playing with like the speed of the characters. Again, there's like something energetic and joyous about his art. And I think that really matches the tone of what people expect from the Flash. But his quality matches the seriousness that Spurrier approaches this whole thing with. It's like, yeah, we're doing this big war thing, but also like, yes, this is caused by the idea that like, their dog Foxy is like some like pan-dimensional whatever.
Okay.
Like god thing, and it was like consumed by Eclipso, and it's like, yes, that's what we're dealing with, but also let's take this really seriously.
Yeah.
In a way.
Sure, of course.
All of like the Flash rogues are there, and they've been imbued with power, so they look differently. They've got like cool. They got different costumes.
They got some modifications of their own.
Exactly. But this one Flash has returned essentially, and the others, the main Wally, seemingly,
yes,
is like, cool, thanks for the intel on like what you saw over there. Now go get into the merge line. And the merge line is anyone who has survived. If you're a Flash who, when you collided or whatever you're supposed to do out there, you didn't die, you come back to the merge line and you like get merged into one Wally.
Oh,
who has all the memories of what you just got.
Okay.
Like what you just did. So our Flash gets up to the front of the line. He's like, no, I'm not doing it.
Oh.
Meanwhile, the family came up to visit like Prime Wally to like give him happy memories so you can pass those along.
Okay.
And they also like the family's like, hey, this is not like you. This whole idea of war and all this stuff. Like, that's not like how this works. Like his wife's like, take this from like a journalist. Like war does not work out the way you think it's going to. Like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
So they bring Barry up.
What?
And Barry's like, hey, and he's like, did you get your flowers back? He's like, nah, man. Like,
no, just here.
Well, like the way in which they brought him up there really only works for speedsters. But the idea is that like he has so much like exposure to it, like they made it slide. They made it work, right?
Okay, that's fair.
And basically Barry in this issue is like, I am disappointed in what you're doing right now, Wally.
Well, that would work.
Just kind of,
yeah. And
Wally's like, shut up.
Oh,
just shut up. Except the other Wally who was like, yeah, I'm not going to do that. Bye. So I'm like, I think that's probably Prime Wally. The real Wally. I don't know. We'll see. I like this a lot. It's so weird and out there, but I think it's the kind of weird and out there that the original like first few issues of Spurrier's run were, except with more joy.
Yeah.
More like Flash feeling energy versus what we had before, which was like very, very different.
Yeah.
You needed that arc to come before this one to kind of explain where we're at.
Yeah.
But this energy is probably where he should have started.
I see.
I really like this. It's really fun, really neat. Eclipso clearly has. We explained the Eclipso plan.
Oh, great.
Eclipso's plan is to move the moon in front of the sun to set it into like
synchronous orbit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Synchronicity.
A
fixed orbit.
Yeah.
So that it blocks. It's a forever eclipse.
Okay.
Between the Earth and the sun, so the Earth will no longer get the sun's light and energy. And he's like, initially, it's gonna be real messed up.
Yeah.
And then over time, I'm playing the long game here. Like people are gonna be like fighting each other over food. Like we might see like new religions, new tribes, all this stuff. Like, it's gonna be great. It's gonna be great. And like some of the villains are like, damn.
What?
I thought I was messed up.
Yeah, he's Eclipso, you idiots.
Yeah. Well, listen, some of the supervillains haven't always been the most intelligent folks. So
That's fair.
So neat stuff. Really love Georgiev drawing this like crazy heliophage version of like Eclipso. Just really neat looking. All of it's great looking. So
I'm glad.
I like this book.
Yeah.
I've heard a few more people saying that like they have enjoyed this like, a bit more.
Yes.
So
yeah, I think the Deodato period really like turned a lot of people off for some reason, and it like never got them back, which is a real shame because like I think Spurrier justified his run.
I think he had like
within that.
I think he had a lot of interesting stuff to say. I think people were not willing to see it through because it felt like it was so like this is so like not what the Flash is.
Yeah.
But it was like he was digging the hole so that like Wally could climb out of it.
Right, exactly. Well, that's frustrating because there's like I want to say almost 60 issues of Quasar. There are 60 issues of Quasar from the 90s, and like people don't give things a chance. Like the point is like you gotta stay, you gotta stick with a book. You gotta stick with a book and try it. And I mean, like not necessarily especially if you have like no disposable income, but like like there used to be a period where it's like give them a chance to like try it out.
And that's really what it is. It's harder now than ever before, I think, to do that. There's only so much time in the day. There's only so much like so many dollars in your wallet.
And a million different competition.
1,000%. So I don't blame people for being like, I gave it a couple of issues, I'm off.
Yeah.
But like if you had any interest in it,
try it now.
Try the trade.
Yeah. What's it called?
Flash?
No, the book. Like the cat, like Bad Moon Rising.
Bad Moon Rising. This is only part 2.
Check out the Bad Moon Rising period.
Yeah. Or you'll be like, trust me, they give you enough information. Spurrier's like, maybe you got on here. He gives you plenty of information in the first issue and this issue to kind of figure out what's going on.
Yeah. Flash 21. So pick up Flash 20.
Yeah.
It'll probably be on the shelf. I read, and I think you did too, Predator versus Spider-Man from Benjamin Percy and Marcelo Ferreira.
Yeah.
This is Predator fighting Spider. I mean, not yet, but the last issue implied that Kraven the Hunter was going to be a massive, formidable force in this series. It is in a microverse, so there's no tether to outside reality. So, Pete and Mary Jane are together. Kraven the Hunter is alive and not a clone. And also predators exist. The Yautja are flying around in this reality. It's a crazy tribeless predator. That's the implication of the story, is that this predator is crazy. It's like a serial killer. It's not a hunter.
No.
It is not a warrior.
He is a hunter.
He is a hunter, but it's all he knows, but he's also nuts.
He's a true predator.
He's a problem because he's like skinning people alive and then taking portions of their bodies and like making a trophy room. When they discover his lair, they're like, this is not a trophy room. This is like the lair of a serial killer. Like this is just like, this is madness.
Yeah.
Yikes. Meanwhile, Kraven is like, oh, sweet. Finally, there are predators in the Marvel Universe. I'm ready for it. Thank God I'm back.
This is the greatest thing that's ever happened to me.
Yes. And
I thought Spider-Man existing was the greatest thing to ever happen to me.
No.
Wrong.
It's predators.
It's predators.
Yeah. And especially if there's a nutso predator who's messing around here.
Although if you start there, Kraven, there's nowhere to go.
No. But, well, no. Like, where he's going to go is up. He's going to join the predators and become an honorary predator. Or,
That's what you think's going to happen?
No. No, I think he's going to die. I think the Predators are going to kill him, but I would love to see him become an honorary
vest.
Yeah, they'll take his vest and wear it. That'd be great. That'd be actually really fun to see in the sequel. So yeah, MJ's on her own story where she's taking a nameless blonde woman like through the suburb or through the subways. Spider-Man spends an inordinate amount of time like doing research and getting annoyed by like, I guess this detective person who's a new character. Yeah. This cop who's gonna be part of the universe. You know what? Predator Batman, they did the exact same thing. They invented this poor woman who worked with Gordon.
Yeah, well, here's the thing. More people than anyone seems to think enjoyed Predator 2. And you just associate cops with Predator.
Yeah, Urban Jungle,
if it's
Predator
gonna be,
2.
If you're listen, most of your characters are going to be fighting a predator in the city, as they should be.
Yeah. Well, in a
I want to see the everyman against the predator. I don't want to see an Adonis.
No.
You got to see a bunch of dudes with like all of the muscles who can rip trees out of the ground, fight the predator. I already know you're probably going to win, but like you get like
they don't.
You get like a
That's the point of Predator. It's an anti-action movie.
One of them does.
Well,
the one who can lift up the trees.
You can't beat Arnold.
We didn't see the other guys
lifting trees. No, they all help him lift the trees. It's just that he's the only one who can do it by himself.
Yes, but that's the key, right? Like if you can lift the tree by yourself, you win, right?
He almost loses.
I'm just saying, like, what I want to see though is like the regular guy.
You want to see Danny Glover is like, oh no, I'm afraid of heights, and also I have to fight a Yautja. Yeah, I get you.
100%. I'm like, yeah, give me hope.
Yeah, well, you can't have that when it's a predator. Just drop the weapon.
Just drop the weapon.
Yeah, it's great. It's cool. It's fun, and it implies, it straight out says in the last page, more predators. Like these predators, like this Skinner predator is a problem. We gotta
they're acting like
get a lid on this guy.
They're pretending those predators like they're some sort of police force. Obviously, this is the PR department for the predators. They're like,
no, that's not what we do. Let me show you what we do.
We have rules. Yeah, we follow the rules. We're just trying to spin this. This guy, not us, not a representative of us.
Yeah, no, that is not a true Yautja. I want to see that. I'm in. I can't wait. I was honestly when they showed like 2 or 3 other predators show up, I'm like, oh, now we're in. Let's go. I'm so hyped.
Yeah, we got Kraven, we've got Spider-Man, we've got other predators, and we've got this predator.
And Skinner predator.
And this predator is just like, he has no idea what's coming.
He has no idea that anyone's looking for him. He's just like, he's just having a good time ripping people's faces off, wearing them on his own face.
He's like, this is so good.
He's like, we finally got House of 1,000 Corpses up here, and I was like, I am in. So yeah, Predator Spider-Man. It's another heavy recommendation for me. Similarly, I also love Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell.
Really quickly, we were talking about how it's like seemingly the Predator can really cross over into anything.
Yeah, you can put the Predator in anything. Yeah,
I'm glad there's no reason to do this, but like when you said House of 1,000 Corpses, I was like, you know what you could do as a crossover, like a single issue crossover. Predator meets the Purge.
Yes, it's the Purge, and then a Predator shows up. Yeah, I mean, people are like wearing masks and running around with machetes, and he's like, and they're like, "Oh, let's go!" And he's like, "Yes, let's go.
I am here to go.
I am gonna kill everybody.
I got 24 hours.
Yeah,
all right, let's do it.
Yeah, the Predator
or whatever it is.
You even imply like the Predators, like they take a break, like they've been watching. They're like, this seems to happen every year. This day, like for 24 hours. So let's go.
Well, it's like it's a cadre of them. Just go.
Yeah, like a tribe of predators just jump in and then kill all the jackasses in like, I don't know, Minneapolis or something. That sounds great. I'm here for it. I'm ready. Yeah, Predator Purge. Predator Purge. That's what it's called. I don't know who has the Purge license. Hey, IDW, listen up. Marvel will let you do it, probably. No, there's no way Marvel will let you do it. Right. Daredevil: Cold Day in Hell.
Yeah, let's go.
Charles Soule, Steve McNiven. It's Old Man Daredevil. It's Dark Knight Returns Daredevil. It's Daredevil is old, and
Daredevil's old.
Daredevil's old, and
it looks like his costume was made by Michelle Pfeiffer.
Yeah, Spider-Man Reign, but Daredevil. It's it's that. It's this. It's great. It's fun. It's cool. McNiven is like trying a different style than you've ever seen before. It's really awesome. There's he got hit with like a radioactive bomb that reactivated his powers, and so he's like, I'm back, baby, but he can feel that like they're leaving. So he's like, I only have like I have just enough time to be Daredevil one last time and then die. Let's go. I don't think he's planning on dying, but I think he's like, you reminded me what it's like to be Daredevil again. I will not be able to live with this again. So that's awesome. There's a moment that like you could see coming a mile away where Elektra returns and she has not aged. And I'm like,
what?
Yeah, well, she just keeps getting resurrected or whatever, like the hand magic and shit. And I'm like, and she's like, you could come with me, Matt, and we could just live forever. We could kill and bang all the time. And he's like, no, it's not right. Anyway, she helps him out with like a tip.
My God does not want me to do that, Elektra.
It's like, man, your God made Galactus. What do you want from me? Spit in his face. So like they leave, so there's a kid. She's the key to all this. She's the new generation of superhero, whatever, yada, yada, yada. Okay, we're going to watch Daredevil die. I'm in. This is awesome. McNiven's art is great. He's going to fight Bullseye one last time. Bullseye looks insane. He looks like a Frank Miller character. I'm like, yeah, this is cool. I'm loving this. It's only 3 issues. Came out of nowhere. I heard nothing about this. And then it just arrived and I'm like, sweet, fun. I like stories like this. I like an Unforgiven or whatever story, whatever the genre is, where character who used to be cool gets to be cool one last time and then die.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like that. I like that trope. I'm here for it.
Chad had an interesting observation that Matt and Elektra are like Bruce and Talia,
100%.
and I'm like, now I just want to see Elektra meet Talia.
Yeah. Beats her meeting Catwoman. We saw that already. It's lame.
No, haven't meet those two. Where they're
I
just
agree.
like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Hey, speaking of great things, we also read Absolute Wonder Woman number 8.
Yeah, we did.
From Kelly Thompson
and Hayden Sherman.
And Hayden Sherman's back, and there's on the cover a new story starts here, and that is clearly there because there was both Kelly Thompson and Scott Snyder have said on this channel in their own videos, which you should definitely go back and watch because they're awesome. There was some confusion about like how long these series were going to be going, and it was like part 1 of 5. People were like, is it a 5-issue mini? No, Wonder Woman and Batman are ongoing. Superman is ongoing. Like, we're gonna keep doing these. And so they're just like, hey, if you stopped reading Absolute Wonder Woman because you thought it was only 5 parts, you are wrong. Yeah. In fact, you missed 2 mind-bending issues that gave Hayden Sherman the time to do his thing with his insane page layouts. So, gorgeous story, gorgeous art, amazing. Hayden Sherman's crushing it. You can feel like Hayden Sherman going, I took a break, so I'm going to just really hammer out some shapes in my page designs. You got triangles, you got circles, you got rhombuses.
Okay,
it's
but why do you have those?
Well, because they all represent whatever she's working on at the time. Like,
in what way?
I don't know. I'm not a friggin' whatever she is, a Wiccan. Well,
obviously, the circles come together to form the moon. So since she's praying to Hecate. Also, because circles are like often, if you see in character design, circular shapes represent like things that are softer and safer, whereas triangles tend to be something that's more dangerous. Also, there's a really great symmetry between that page of her
in the circle
channeling
panel,
to the doorway. So we're like transitioning over into this other area where the triangle shapes are.
But the triangle is the perfect shape. And it's the most stable.
Okay, but it is sharp looking and like a sharp. Okay, but a sharp shape makes you feel like
an arrowhead. Yeah,
like it's dangerous. It can be that. It doesn't always. You can always make and break the rules.
Sure.
But I would also say that like
introducing
there is like having like the shape with like 3 pieces in it. I think a lot of people start to think like conspiracy, Illuminati, that type of thing. So there's like a lot of like interesting symbolism within his panel layouts just in general. That just add another layer and another depth of something that you may not need, but hey, it's there and it's lovely.
Yeah. Introducing Dr. Poison,
Dr.
using
Poison,
triangles,
which I was just
is also
like,
a smart idea too.
Sure. I'm like, we got Dr. Poison, why not?
New version, crazy, awesome idea.
Yes.
Love it.
Also interesting, like I doubt it has anything tethered to any sort of like film, but could in its own way, where it's just like, hey, this is a character that doesn't get used a whole lot as of late, and also the masses are probably a little more aware of at least the name of this human being.
Yes, outside of the cheetah person, but she's already has a role to play in this, and she's not a cheetah person yet. So yeah, Wonder Woman builds her Fortress of Solitude, which is also essentially the Hall of Justice. It's awesome looking, gorgeous, beautiful, and this is the other thing where I was like, oh, I think we're doing a thing. I think we're building out the universe.
Yeah.
And it just made me go like, man, I want to see Diana talk to the others.
Not yet,
but like, not yet. But I want to. Like, it makes me want to. I'm like, oh, that's exciting. Yeah, Wonder Woman is in a circle, a bunch of friends. They were they are not seemingly useful right now, but she is hanging out with them. So we're just building up. We're building up what this new arc, and introducing you to new settings, but old familiar characters, and
and like just kind of establishing her cast of characters. This did feel a little more like we could see Thompson like starting to modernize her a little bit more. Yes. Like when she's like, Hecate giving the strength not to murder whoever is behind the needless cruelty. Like it had a different feel, a little bit from that first arc.
It did have that classic Kelly Thompson line where she was like, I hope wherever I'm seeking out, it likes me punch in the face.
Yeah.
Like, that's such a Kelly Thompson thing.
It's very, very much that. There's just that snark, which I do like.
Yeah.
For sure. But I recognize that we like have to allow, now that we understand that her ties to her mythological background have been like severed in a way. Yeah. Like she still has them and she still has her magic and she still prays to her pantheon. But that, it's not as easy for her to go home anymore. And I feel like we're going to see a shift into her, seeking out her found family.
And I love the idea of, there's this implication here where she her world is being perverted and manipulated by man's world. Like they see the mankind is almost slaughtered by a Lovecraftian horror of the tetracide, and what do? They weaponize its song.
Well, that group did, for sure.
But like they're humans
immediately,
and it's like immediately done, and then used to remind you of the Mouser's arc from Ninja Turtles.
Oh, 1,000%. I will say, thanks to you reading Dark Patterns, I'm just like, so Hayden, you seemingly have something about eyeballs and sharp things near eyeballs.
Yes.
And I'm gonna need you to stop that.
He's like, no, it's an evocative image.
No, stop. I don't like it.
I know you don't. That's why I'm doing it. Yeah.
I saw this panel and I'm like, great. Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's fair. That's fair. But good stuff all around. It's an amazing book. It's beautiful. It's fantastic. I love it.
Yeah.
We also I read Batman
I did
number
not
160. The wheels are coming off, ladies and gentlemen. I forgot this book came out. I titled this book about I was like, I don't know, Ultimate Goblin. And then I was like looking at the books we were talking about today, and I'm like, oh my God, Hush 2. And I read it.
Oh no.
And I just forgot because that's how bad this series is. It's, written by Jeff Loeb with art by Jim Lee.
I'm like, how could you forget his name?
Because it's just so tired. It's just old and busted is what it is. It's like been there, done that, but also don't. There's a sequence where Batman is being beaten up by a big guy, and so you're like, oh, how is he going to beat this big guy? Who will help him? I guess Superman. That's a thing from Hush. And then Damian and Bane smash through a window, and Damian goes, "Sick 'em, Bane!" And I'm like, this is stupid. It's just really bad. And then I'm hearing leaks and rumors and conjecture about what's going to happen. And then I read a thing about how Jeff Loeb is talking about how he's like, well, the first one was all about the rogues, but this one is about the Bat family. We're gonna deconstruct and maybe even kill off the Bat family. And I'm like, wow, so it's gonna be like a death of the family. What an idea! If only they didn't have it over 11 years ago,
right? And
to better effect,
right?
Who'd have thought?
Yeah.
And it's just like this is just not good. It's old. It's tired. It's like there's a sequence where Batman, Hush, he whispers, he doesn't talk very loud. And then there's a sequence where he's talking to Batman and it's really loud. Like the cover implies, and I'm like, yeah, all right. It's just a waste.
Did you see on the cover where they wrote Hush?
Yeah, I did. I thought that was great. I mean, look, this graphically, it was striking. I was like, oh, this really does jump off the shelf. Even if it is just a stark white background and a milquetoast font saying Hush over and over again.
Yeah.
But still, there's some thought behind it. Certainly more thought than that awful superimposed 2 over the U in Hush that they insist on putting on the cover.
Well, that's the logo. They're committed.
That's not a logo. Or if it is, it's a bad one. That's just a 2 with the opacity reduced a little bit on a U. That's nothing. You didn't even turn the 2 in. It's lame. Like this book. I can only hope that it will have very little to any effect on the Matt Fraction run.
They should have just done this as a Black Label book.
Yes. There should have been 3 Jokers. They should have just
100%. Just be like, yeah, what would have happened if we had a second Hush?
Yeah. It would have been read by Paul Dini, and you would have done it already.
Then you could do whatever you wanted.
Right. Then it could go nuts, But people wouldn't have cared. It wouldn't have sold as well.
You don't know that.
I don't know that. I mean, certainly, I think DC thinks that if Jim Lee draws it, it will sell 200,000 copies. They really think that if Jim Lee sells it, draws it, it will sell untold numbers. And Jim Lee on a mainstream monthly Batman book is something. Jim Lee drawing another forgettable Batman Black Label book is not nearly as gripping or as exciting. I don't know. I agree that it should have been that. And I do think that it should have sold better. And I think arguably it might have, because it doesn't matter, people might have been like excited by it.
Yeah, you
or
don't know
at
what's
least
going to happen.
You wouldn't know what's going to happen, and you wouldn't be just annoyed that it's going to affect the main line.
Yeah. Or like know that it may not have the teeth it should have because it can't affect the main line.
Yeah. I mean, it implies that there's going to be long-lasting effects. I've heard that like maybe Tim and Stephanie won't make it out of this book, and I'm like, they're not even in the book. It's just not very good, and it's not Jim Lee's best work. You know, that's the real shame. All-Star Batman, and I keep saying this, and I'm sorry, I don't mean to repeat myself, but All-Star Batman and Robin is arguably one of the worst Batman books I've ever read in my life, and it also has some of the best Jim Lee art I've ever seen.
I told you,
so incredible.
Marvel method it.
Yeah.
Just erase all the word balloons and
just whoa, this looks nuts.
Put something else in there.
Yeah. No, I mean the words make it all that much more iconic.
No, it does not. It's infamous, not iconic.
Yeah. There's a fine line.
There's a fine line.
Batman 160. Don't buy this book. Don't do
it.
Don't help them with this. Don't encourage them. We also read Ultimate Spider-Man number 17. This is another one of these talkie books. It's written by Jonathan Hickman with art by David Messina, who is the guy they get to draw the talkie books. That being said, there is actually a lot more action in this issue than I would have expected. I was like, oh, there's a lot of Goblin in here.
Yeah.
This book is, again, it seeks up the noble tradition of Ultimate Spider-Man of not having any Spider-Man in it, where it's essentially about, like, where does Harry Osborn go with his life, with his goals, with his plan, now that he's, like, fully involved in Gwen's new life.
Mm-hmm.
Well, not really new. She's been a Mysterio for God knows how long, but he's fully committed and also technically dead. So he's off the table. He doesn't have to maintain the public persona. Gwen can handle that crap, which he wasn't very good at anyway, presumably because Gwen was always handling it in the first place. So we're seeing, it's funny because like you'd assume that Harry would just be, Harry would be doing better if he didn't foolishly involve the ghost of his grandfather in his AI, because it's constantly belittling him.
His dad?
I'm sorry, his dad. It's constantly reminding him that he's a failure, that he's like
I was like, why?
Like,
can we not separate these things?
No. that's Norman. Norman's always going to be a ghost in Harry's mind, telling him that he's a poor reflection of him. And it's like,
couldn't you just ask Otto to
he could just
make
be like,
a new one?
Hey, purge this one and replace it with like a happy program that thinks I'm great and just give it my dad's voice. No, because I think Harry's also like, he misses his dad. He never worked on it. He never worked through it.
Tell it to tell me that they're proud of me.
Yeah. I can't. You've never done anything.
We don't know what that sounds like.
Yeah, exactly. I can't get those words together. I mean, Peter is surrounded by family and is like, it's something I pointed out in our episode, but like Peter lost his parents 15 years later than he did in the original continuity. Like Peter's surrounded by family. He was raised by his parents and then like taken care of by Aunt May and Uncle Ben. And he's got in-laws and children and what, like, Peter has family. His nagging self-doubt as a personality is only going to warp Richard now. Harry's alone. Harry loses his mom, his horrible dad, and that's the whole Osborn legacy. So he's alone and he never dealt with it. He never worked it through. He never talked about it. And he was like, yeah, I put my dead dad in my head and I'm sure that'll work out great. And it's like, yeah, you know what? That's Harry Osborn. He's a person who never works on his trauma and is constantly trying to please a ghost. That's what this is. And
you can't make a ghost happy.
No, you never could because they're not real. But it's really interesting to see, like, the dynamic between Gwen and Harry, because Harry, when he first is introduced in the series, like he's kind of like cock of the walk. He's a guy who's like, I just turned off Peter's suit. Like he is in control seemingly. And then the second he introduces his dad's personality into his suit, boom. Gwen being a Mysterio and being part of this cabal, having the amulet, being I guess she's just like, what, she gets to control the Mysterios, or I don't know what the implication is of the amulet, but it means that she gets to do whatever the hell she wants for at least a week. And so we're not going to see what that means because every book is a month later, but we'll see the fallout certainly.
Oh, for sure.
Also, Gwen is a lot more militant than Harry. Harry's like, we're going to save the world. We're going to change the world. Or rather, we'll save the world. And she's like, no, we're going to change it. We're going to blow shit up. We're going to kill people. It's going to be nuts.
And he's like, whoa,
he's like,
whoa. Who did I marry?
Oh, no. I married my dad. So, yeah, it's... Is
that a problem?
Oh, and also, at the end, Peter finds out that Harry's alive. So I guess we'll see what happens with that a month later.
Yeah, this one I gotta tell you, like, I wasn't as compelled by.
No,
but the beginning and the end sequence with Harry and Uncle Ben, and then Harry with Peter, I was like, I don't know, I really responded.
Yeah, because really it's Uncle Ben. Because Uncle Ben is a great new character in this series, and he's interesting to see work. I want to see how he reacts to shit.
And he can't help himself. He immediately goes into Uncle Ben dad mode with Harry. He's like, don't you think you ought to tell Peter?
Right. Yeah. It's great.
Son.
Yeah.
Don't you think you should stop running from your problems kind of things?
Yeah. I'm hyped. I like this series. This issue was, like you said, I was like, well, because I know where these militant lunatics are going to go. I know where Gwen and Harry are going to end
all the other issues that have been about, not Spider-Man, I've been really interested in. And there just was something about this one. It didn't read as fast.
No, it did not.
And that's
I think.
the
first time.
Yeah, this is the first time.
16 issues where this book didn't take 8 minutes to read.
I was like, oh, okay, hang on. It was just a little bit more oh, all right, we need to actually get a little of this nitty gritty, which I assume, because I'm trusting Hickman here in his storytelling, that we needed this.
Yes.
There's something that we needed to catch on to, whether it's the relationship between Harry and his father, or it was the relationship between Harry and Gwen, or the change in Gwen.
Yes.
I don't know.
I mean, Gwen is being built up. I mean, just meta reading it for a second, you have to assume that because no one's doing anything with Harry, Gwen, Uncle Ben in mainstream continuity because they did. Mm-hmm. You have to assume they're going to play some kind of significant role in this world because you have to, because otherwise, why bring them back?
Yeah.
So if that's the case, you need this because you need to see what direction they're going. And plus, hey, listen, we just saw the infancy of Harry's madness, or at the very least, his mental breakdown. A month later, I'm sure it'll be worse. But Peter's back. And while I think that Peter is very excited about having a best friend, I don't know what Peter's influence on Harry is going to be. So yeah, it's a great book. This book in particular was the first time where, like you said, it was a little slower to read. It was not a slog.
No, and it wasn't something that I was like, oh, I can't wait for this to be over. I just happened to notice. I was like, oh, okay, I wasn't like, oh.
Yeah. And I think you're right. I think it was this is one of those things where it's you got to eat your vegetables. We had to get through this to get to the next thing, because it would have felt cheap. That moment where, what was it last week? We were talking about a book. Oh, it was Absolute Flash, where it's oh, while he's in the suit now.
Yeah.
I mean, I understand that you need to have Flash in your Absolute Flash book. And for 3 issues, he's been running away from people and just being and just freaking out. But it felt a little unearned.
Yeah, for sure.
Nothing in this book feels unearned. Everything is justified and earned in this series.
I will say, having Gwen be in any way, shape, or form involved with the Mysterios, now you have to question everything that happens.
Totally.
From here on out.
Yeah.
I'm like,
what you did when I was like, oh, I think Harry's dead. And you're like, nope. I'm like, okay, right on. Fair enough.
I don't think he is. And the book was like, that is correct.
Correct, Tiffany. You are used to reading Hickman books. So yeah, it's fine. It's a fine book. It was not my book of the week though. But so let's jump into it. What's our book of the week, Tiffany? It's gotta be power fantasy, right? Or
I am going to give it to Power Fantasy this week.
Yay, good for Power Fantasy. They deserve it.
Yeah. Even though this is the most monochrome cover, but I really like it.
Yeah.
Really. Look at all those skulls. What's not to like? I like skulls.
Kids love skulls.
Kids love skulls, guys.
And chains.
We all have them.
That's true. Important things go in a case. You have a skull for your brain. Man, this is a tough one because Absolute Wonder Woman is a great series and a fantastic. Every issue is great. But I'm so thankful for Predator Spider-Man. I've been asking for that forever. So yeah, I'm gonna give it to it. Predator Spider-Man.
Wow.
Good for you, Benjamin Percy. I'm hyped. I love this series. It's fun. It's cool. The art's awesome. I never really got a chance to talk about Ferreira's work, but it's great looking. He's like, I am drawing Spider-Man and Predators. I better do a damn good job.
I love this cover because Spider-Man is really like his eyes betray how like I don't know
how not in control of the situation.
He's like, oh
no, she's being dragged.
Like, I just can't get over his face. Like,
ooh. Yeah, he actually looks like the 70s Spider-Man from the live action movie and stuff. It's I love this series. It's great. It's doing a great job. Runner-up goes to Daredevil. I'm really enjoying this book. It's just great. But yeah, so let's jump into some super chats. So here we go. Logan O'Cross, thank you very much for your support.
Yeah. Oh, Kettler will defend for treats. Your thoughts on Black Panther game getting canceled? Seems like all superhero games recently announced are canceled or stuck in limbo.
Yeah, the Wonder Woman game got canceled as well.
Yeah, okay. Well, here's the thing: the Wonder Woman game, they obviously had no game
yeah.
at all in development. They just had like a movie to show us. They should have never
announced
that. They should have waited to see where that was going to go. In terms of just games in general, games are in a weird state right now where like a AAA game is very expensive and volatile to create.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of pressure on them and a lot of just in general like I don't know, like criticisms of them, and they don't always come out fully ready to go either. I would like to see more superhero games from both groups.
Yeah.
Like from both sides.
I mean, look, we're going to get another Black Panther game. It's called like 1943 or something, and it's a Captain America Black Panther book. It's not starring T'Challa, but like video game. But it looks fun. We'll see. That Wolverine game will come out in like 2039 from Insomniac. That'll be fun. Rami Darwish says, happy birthday, Sal. Thank you very much, Rami. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Sal. Choco Kid saying, with Marvel vs. Capcom action figures being announced and Shuma once more being called Gargantos, is it fair to conclude that Shuma Gorath name is no more?
In Marvel, yeah. No, it's over. Like, you're not going to see that anymore, which is really frustrating. Like, just buy the license. You know, it's
they had it for a second.
I know, but like, buy it.
They had it. They should just produced all the Shuma Gorath figures they could have.
Yeah, well, I do want that. I gotta get that Shuma Gorath. We gotta figure out how to get that.
I like how he's just like,
yeah, that sassy pose they made for like some of the promo art. He's gonna just look like that from now on. Like when I get him, he's just gonna be doing that on the set. It's gonna be amazing. I can't wait. They all look great though. Those figures. Wolverine looks awesome.
Yes.
Padman, DC runs that deserve the compact format treatment. I mean, you know, they're doing it. They're
no. Which ones would you think? What runs would you?
I mean,
like
do all the absolutes.
Oh well, yeah.
Every absolute needs to be a DC compact.
Sure.
Such a smart idea too. Like just get them out there, get them to as many people as humanly possible. But as far as DC is concerned, I mean, like they got to get Young Justice in the compact format. They got to get the original Wolfman Perez Teen Titans in there. Speaking of those characters, every seminal Batman book. Like every Batman book that people talk about, even if they're not necessarily like, I mean, look, some of them are aged pretty weird, like Joker's the Iranian ambassador to the Ayatollah in friggin' Death in the Family. Yeah, that happened. Reagan's in the book. It's weird. But put a DC, every Batman book that is like available, every Superman book that like people talk about, if Jeff Loeb and Tim Sale did a book together at DC, put it in the absolute format and get them out there.
The compact
ones. Do the Bermejo books like Joker and Lex Luthor.
But aren't those supposed to like maybe scale to a somewhat?
No, the Lex Luthor and the Joker one, those you can shrink down.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
You have any?
No. I'm sure there are. My brain just is like just nothing. Just a spinning wheel right now. Jake Stanley, Blue Blaze says, "Who is Tempest Fugonaut crossing over with?"
I mean, it's got to be Watcher. You got to see these two like looking at each other's universes and stuff.
Mephisto.
Yeah. Since he's dead. Logi's Unicorn, thanks for your support.
T10480 says, "I want to see a Superman Daredevil crossover. I think Matt could use someone like Superman to talk to."
I don't disagree. Matt could use a friend.
Matt could use a friend.
Rafael Martinez, I love that Absolute Wonder Woman has a super base now, not just an apartment somewhere like most Wonder Woman runs. That's fair. Yeah. She, I like it, and it's clearly the Hall of Justice.
It's meant to be a Greek temple of some sort. That's why it's called the Huron.
Yes,
because it's like meant to. That's what that stands for, I believe.
Okay.
Tea Time 480 says, have you heard the rumor that Pattinson might be folded into the DCU if Superman goes well? Fingers crossed it happens.
I haven't heard like any recent rumor about it, but like I'm down. I like him. He also says, what are the best trunkless Superman suits? I mean, Rebirth. The best one for me is the Rebirth suit right after he got like merged with his previous self from Mixus Pitlick. I don't like trunkless Superman suits, so I don't have any, but like that one was the most tolerable one that I picked.
Okay.
He also goes on to say this.
You don't know.
Oh, that's true.
I'll be cheering when I see a predator on a pirate ship just for you, Sal. Take that, Tom King. You great writer.
Yeah, he is great. Happy belated birthday, Sal. Thanks to all the joy and entertainment you do. And you and everyone at ComicPop has given me over the years. Anytime, T-Time.
Oh, thank you.
Thanks for that. Appreciate it.
And then also saying, who's the best Batman love interest? For me, it's Talia when she's well written. I don't find the Catwoman romance very compelling in main continuity.
I don't really care. I don't see Batman settling
you like the
down.
Phantasm.
Yeah, Andrea Beaumont's one of my favorites. I mean, easily. That was one of my favorites, honestly. But like, outside of that, I subscribe to kind of like Batman Beyond, where he just like occasionally pulls them up on the computer and goes like, there they go. Like he's alone.
I do like, well, I mean, like the romances are like, they're not maybe not going to end up together. Yeah, like that's why I do like the Talia one, because it's like it is.
She'll never go away.
It is very much like Matt and Electro, where it's just like I should not.
Yep.
But I mean, look at her.
Yeah. Yeah, and she's always going to be that.
Yeah.
Like, I'm never going to, like, I'm always going to have another shot.
Yeah, I mean, recently the idea of Batman and Zatanna has been fun. And I do like, at least in the cartoons, Batman, Wonder Woman.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but I really enjoy that.
Yeah, I'm also on the same page. Stupid Sandwich is Predator Purge, and then they cast the cast of Boy Kills World shows up in the outro like, shit, now none of this counts because we don't have sponsorship. I guess no trophy this year. I don't know what reference you're making, but thank you very much for your support. And I hope it entertained people.
Tea Time 480, thanks for coming back and saying, every time you say Hatoosh, I think of Poe and Skadoosh.
Yeah, that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Skadoosh. Yeah.
You're a panda.
Yeah, you're a panda. He's a panda. Davey 900, the Predators are going to Minnesota. What did we do? Love the issue. Can't wait for Killers on Friday. I know people who saw it. They said it was great. That is awesome to hear. It looks great. I'm excited. Hey, Disney, call me. I saw, Prey in the theater with you guys. I'm happy to shill for Predator. But yes, I'm glad to hear it.
Predator.
But I will, we'll shill for Predator. But also I'll watch, we're going to watch on Friday. Can't wait.
Hugzilla, thank you so much for your kind super chat saying, here's a birthday pizza or two. Keep being the amazing power couple, and thanks for the laughs and entertainment. Amazing. How did you know us this well, too? Sal did have pizza.
I did.
On his actual birthday. Yeah. We went and grabbed pizza. So thank you so much for that pizza money. We appreciate you.
Yeah, we do. Thank you so much. Loj the Unicorn, Logi is a unicorn. Thank you very much for your support. Really appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, so before we go, we should remind you that Tiffany plays video games on Tuesdays and Wednesdays, typically on youtube.com at ComicPop Plays or twitch.tv/ComicPop. It's the same stream, it's just on either one, whichever one you prefer, the purple channel or the red channel. All links for everything we do on any channel are in the description below this video, so you can make sure to click that description and click the links that take you there, and you can subscribe to that channel right away. Tiffany, right now, you're tipping, what are you playing?
We were playing Helldivers, but we saved Super Earth, so I don't know what we're doing now.
Yeah, we'll see.
I mean, like, I really have enjoying streaming with you and Danielle for that.
It's been fun.
I don't know. Like, obviously some folks wanted me to jump into the new Doom. I might have some time off coming up though, and I would like to, not this week, next week, but like in a couple of weeks or a few weeks, jump back into finishing up Silent Hill 2 for those of you who are playing along with us. She and I are going to need a little time to get back into remembering how to play the combat in that game. Right. So I didn't want to just launch into that and then have us like wreck the ending, because it's just like we can't remember how to do anything.
Yeah.
So we're going to need a little practice there. And then of course, in the world of Phasmophobia, at the end of June, they're going to be putting in a brand new map and a huge update that's going to have a whole bunch of new stuff in there. Nice. And also someone did sponsor us to play, not like someone in the chat very kindly helped to sponsor that we should play Repo. So I need to schedule that with Ben so that we can do that. Oh, also, yeah, there's a new Elden Ring, the Elden Ring thing. Now, here's the thing. I've never actually finished the Prime Elden Ring game because I never did get good. But I do love that game.
I know.
I don't know why. Like, I freaking love that game so much.
Yeah.
I have also heard about Claire Obscure. There's so many things out right now. I just don't even know where to go at this point.
Let's recommend some books that come out this week that we can just check out. Absolute Superman's dropping. I'll read this.
Amazing. Ultimate Wolverine #6, a book that like came out of nowhere, and within like 2 issues, I was like, I think I like this.
Yes.
I'm also going to check out the next Absolute Green Lantern, #3 dropping.
Amazing Spider-Man 5. I can't believe I'm recommending that, but it's here. We're getting Ultimate Spider-Man Incursion #1. This is the book that is seeing Miles Morales meet, Pete and Richard. It's written by Dennis Camp with art by, it's Dennis Camp, Cody Ziegler, Jonas Scharf is drawing it, and we'll see where this goes. It may be the end of the Ultimate Universe. Who knows?
Is it?
I hope not. Hickman is also abandoning that to do Imperial #1. So we'll see where that goes.
Interesting.
Birds of Prey 22. I like this series a lot. Storm #9 is a good book, so you should check that out as well if you haven't already read it. Yeah. That's
no. And Wait, what's Marvel Knights: The World to Come?
That is a great question, but it doesn't matter because you're getting that.
No, click on that.
Okay.
Yeah, I want to know what it is first, and then I'm going to get really excited.
Oh yeah, I'd heard about this book.
Okay.
Yeah. This is a new Marvel Knights book because it's like an anniversary kind of thing.
Oh, it's 40 pages.
It's from Joe Quesada and Christopher Priest are teaming up to do this like crazy Black Panther book. Basically the idea is that like T'Challa dies and where does it go?
Okay.
But Christopher Priest, Joe Quesada teaming up to do this.
That's awesome.
Yeah, Marvel Knights: The World to Come. I'm gonna read that.
The thing that I inhaled so sharply about is Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong 2 #1 is dropping. I'm very excited. I'm also very nervous that this is not going to live up to the excitement that I had for this first series. That's Brian Buccoletto, Christian Deuce, I don't know. Same team, literally just the same team coming back around. Super excited. Can't wait.
Yes, that's right. Also, we're getting a dope issue of Ghost Rider versus Galactus coming out from Babylon 5 creator J. Michael Straczynski with art by Juan Ferreira. If you have not seen this already, it looks amazing. I'm also excited because this is kind of like an implication of the old 90s Marvel Action Hour Fantastic Four story when Danny Ketch rolled up out of nowhere and just pen and stared the shit out of Galactus, and that was what gave the team the old opportunity to kibosh him.
The last issue of Let This One Be a Devil is dropping as well, so I'm gonna be picking that up. A great Jersey Devil story by James Tynion IV, Steve Fox, with art by Piotr Kowalski. Great stuff. Also, for Pride Month, DC is putting out a collection of stories called DC Pride #1. So if you like compilations, there's a lot of fun writers in there. So go check that out.
Yeah, that's right.
And also artists. It's not just scripts. Enjoy this book.
Yeah. If you liked the cut of David Pepos' jib when he was on the show before, Captain Planet and the Planeteers #2 is also dropping. So check that out as well if you have a mind.
Wait. There was something that looked neat to me.
There's a lot of books out this week. It's a stacked week.
Books. I guess because it's the first week in June.
Yeah.
That's really what it is.
Yes.
I feel like
these JMS crossovers or combos, I believe they're typically like, I think he had done it before and did like a story that collected all of them, or there was some kind of like main thing that connected all of them. I don't know if this is the same thing, but yeah.
See the second printing?
Yeah, of Wolverine #8
with his Daniel Warren Johnson cover.
Yeah, because there was a backup by Daniel Warren Johnson that depicted that cover. Yeah, no, if you like that cover, you'll love the story. It's just, alternate reality Japanese Wolverine taking arrows and splitting bodies with his adamantium claws.
Amazing.
It's very exciting.
Amazing. Oh, and if you were following along with IDW's many Godzilla books, Godzilla Heist #4 is also dropping this week.
That's right.
So if you're on that, you might want to go grab that while you're grabbing your Godzilla versus Kong Justice League. Justice League goes first to go first, but let's be honest, Godzilla and Kong should go first.
And finally, we could read into this or we cannot, but Action Comics 775 is getting a facsimile edition, which is the issue of What's So Funny About Truth, Justice, the American Way by Joe Kelly and Lee Bermejo and Doug Mankey. I wonder why this is coming out. Perhaps there's a Superman movie that uses this as an inspiration. I couldn't tell you. All I could tell you is this is a great book, and it's typically out of print. I mean, it's out of print because it printed like 30 years ago. But like, if you want to read it, a facsimile edition will be coming out, so you can check it out and finally have a tangible copy to read. Otherwise, that's it. I want to thank you so much for hanging out with us. I want to thank my amazing wife for being an amazing support and fantastic addition. It makes the show exist. So thank you so much. It wouldn't be a good show without you.
It wouldn't be a good show without you either.
Well, it wouldn't, I mean, arguably it wouldn't be a show because I wouldn't do the show because I'm not.
Well, my hand looked really tiny because it was further back. Like I was just like, I have a.
It is tiny. Thanks a lot for watching, everybody. We'll see you guys next week with another episode. I'm Sal.
And I'm Tiffany.
So long, everybody. Bye-bye.
Bye.